This is the Nintendo DS-ML, an unofficial reshell of the original DS. I will be reviewing its physical differences on today's video. This is the Nintendo DS-ML, an unofficial reshell of the original DS, as this is what it looked like before it was put in that shell. They are both technologically the exact same system on the insides, however one is a obscure and Chinese reshell that takes more advantage of shape, and it makes it more square to kind of resemble a DS Lite. We'll get into the key differences later on, but just to prove they are the exact same system internally, they both have the exact same boot up menu, as you can see here, that there are quite a few differences. Immediately, if you've ever picked up a DS-ML, you'd notice that it's much larger, it's much flatter, it's just kind of makes the system generally larger, but it's definitely taking advantage of the DS Lite design here. However, if you've ever picked one of these up or seen one, but as I'll show you here, the hinge is quite wiggly and it makes a really bad sound that if I had the ability to show you with a microphone, you'd probably hear it. And it's pretty good looking, but it definitely has some flaws. As on the original, it doesn't have this issue and it's rather firm and it closes, and it doesn't really just stay in between as most reshells will do, kind of floppy. It just kind of snaps shut and it's pretty smooth. While on the DS-ML, it's pretty, bootleg feeling. However, for the buttons, they're more rounded and they have the text printed into them, which is, I believe, how the DS Lite was, correct? The start and select buttons have also been modified to kind of be a little circle instead of like these fatter, more rectangular shapes, and the buttons are more like the Game Boy Advance SP on the DS original, as it's kind of a mixture of that system and DS Lite. The start and select buttons are larger, and I actually appreciate this more than the ML. The D-pad's also slidier, and it kind of doesn't really have this much response. The DS original is more rounded on the corners, which looks better to me, and you can already tell that the DS original is winning this race, as OEM hardware is usually going to be superior. The stylus is pretty similar to the DS Lite, though that's better. Stylus speaking, it doesn't fit into the actual original DS, as it's custom for the DS-ML. You'll have a hard time trying to get a replacement, which is pretty annoying. On the top here, you can see that there are some build quality issues, such as this little piece of plastic kind of just loose, and kind of this lens here not being fully adhered down, as it's a cheaper adhesive. These are built by hand, so you can even tell on the screw caps here, they're kind of pushed on there. You can definitely tell that's done by hand and not by a machine, so it just kind of looks kind of just put together weakly. And then also it's partially transparent, which really kicks it up. It's pretty cool though, definitely for obscurity, but the loose hinge and the build quality issues are starting to make this not so pleasant. The triggers are also not as responsive as on the original, though they're fine. It's just better on the original system. You can kind of see here that the hinge kind of has to scoop into the shell. It's pretty weird. You can also see here that this actually has a replication of the DS original slot cover that kind of just goes in there, and if you take this out, it's not compatible with the original DS in any sort, as if you try to take this slot and fit it in there, it's not going to fit because it's actually only designed, yet again, for the ML, similar to the stylus. It's a little lame trying to make them proprietary. However, if you put a cartridge inside the DS, it fits really flushly and it looks nice, but if you put it in the DS-ML, it will go in the same. But then you'll see this, because the shell is now square shaped, the cartridge kind of rounds out a bit, and it doesn't even sit fully flushly, which is pretty annoying, but I guess that's what you get for trying to make such a custom shell design. It's not bad, but it's definitely not ideal. Also, not to mention, the text on the back is pretty worn. It's pretty worn. I actually gave this thing a few weeks of use here and there, and I noticed that the corners of this plastic here are pretty sharp. This is really annoying when playing for a long period of time. It's definitely much better on the original system. You've got this nice round corner to keep your thumbs intact with blood pressure at least. Pretty nice, and it's pretty clean. On the back of the system, you can also see a typo here, as well as the text is already starting wearing off, so yeah. Here's the box of the console. If you saw my original video on this, you probably know what this is, but as a quick recap for those that do not remember that video, you can kind of see here that it's just a DSi box, basically, and if you open up the front, you can just kind of get inside. There's this flap here, there's this custom manual, this little weird proprietary charger. I know it's a GBASP one, but it's weird and custom made, and I don't think I can use it in my plugin. One more flaw showing that this has been definitely hand built is that in the front here there's this little bump or abrasion that's been there ever since I opened it. It's pretty annoying, but it's there, so that's nice to note, I suppose. Is this thing actually worth purchasing? If you like obscure consoles or want something different than other people. Anyways, thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe, like, and comment if you liked it. See you guys next time. Have a great day.